Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Um, Welcome to Mikestand. We're gonna give people a few minutes to get in here. I hope everybody's is having a good week thus far. I hope everybody's enjoying their summer break and all that. And we'll just wait a few minutes to give people a chance to come in here. Let's see. You can always be number one. You can always be a winner. You can always be number one. You can always be a winner. You can always be number one. You can always be a winner. You can always be number one. You can always be a winner. Darkwing Duck, let's get dangerous. Darkwing Duck, better watch out, you bad boys. Darkwing Duck. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm strong to the finish 'cause I eat my spinach. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. Let's see what else. Meet George Jetson. His boy Roy. Daughter Judy. Jane, his wife. Do 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 do. Mass crusaders working overtime, fighting crime, fighting crime. Secret raiders who will neutralize through the Paradise. The Ultron's gonna lead the mission. Spectrum's got such supervision. Do-do-do. Mask is a mighty power that can save the day. Do-do-do-do. Mask, no one knows what lies behind the masquerade. Do-do-do-do. Mask, always riding on Venom's trail. And in a laser ray on its way. Do-do-do, do-do-do. Let's see. When Captain America throws his mighty shield, all those who oppose his shield must yield. In the red and the white and the blue it comes true when Captain America throws his mighty shield. Tony Stark makes you feel he's a cool exec with the hottest wheels. As Iron Man, all jets aflame, he fights and fights with repulsor rays. Amazing power, it's Iron Man. Amazing power, it's Iron Man. Doc Bruce Banner, belted by gamma rays, turned into the Hulk. Ain't he just gallantly threatened the town with the powerful, ain't someone who isn't lovable, the ever-loving Hulk. Hulk, Hulk. Let's see. Cross the rainbow bridge of Asgard, where the blue means heaven's roar, and behold incredulous wonder the god of thunder, mighty Thor. Stronger than a whale, he can swim anywhere, he can breathe underwater and go flying through the air. Noble submariner, prince of the deep, so beware deadly demons. Lord Namor of Atlantis is the prince of the deep. Let's see. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do do do. Superman. Everybody shout. Come on, let's hang out. It's time for the Groovies get together. You're gonna see how funny they can be. Well, it's time for the Groovy Ghoulies show. Do, 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 do. And we have paid for a play contract. There's baloney in our flag. And it's so insane and a maniac. Those are the facts. They're Pinky and the Brain. Yes, Pinky and the Brain. One is a genius, the other's insane. To prove his mouthy worth, he'll overthrow the earth. They're Pinky, they're Dinky, they're Pinky and the Brain, 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 brain. To the dawning of the sun, they are the number one. They're Pinky and the Brain, yes, Pinky and the Brain. One is a genius, the other's insane. To prove their mousy worth, they'll overthrow the earth. They're Dinky, they're Pinky, and the Brain, 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 brain. Gotta beat, beat, gotta beat, beat. Static shock. Gotta beat, 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 beat. Gotta beat, 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 beat. Static shock. Do, 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 do. Do 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 do. Let me see. Crypto, the super dog. Crypto, the super dog. Crypto, super dog. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, heroes in a half shell, turtle power. They're the world's most fearsome fighting teams. When the evil Shredder attacks, these turtle boys don't cut 'em no slice. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, heroes in a half shell, turtle power. Let's see now. Okay, so we're at the 8-minute mark now, so I guess I'll go ahead and start getting underway here. Let's see. So what's on tap for tonight? So I've got 9 articles to go over tonight. 5 anime related and 4 comics related. Got a lot of releases to kind of go over. Let's see, and then of course just AEW with the wrestling roundup. So we got some new art from Haikyuu, celebrating the series' 10th anniversary. There's some talk now they want to revisit or even remake Record of Lotus War, the classic anime. So that like to see what they have in mind for that. And it probably doesn't sound much good. The One Piece film Red will be sailing into U.S. theaters this fall. That's another one we'll be covering. Let's see. What else are we going to cover? Dragon Ball Super Boss says post superhero story is in production. And also how to get started with another world with my smartphone. And then of course on the comic side of it we'll have some DC news, some Archie comics, Skybound Entertainment, and one other. So plus we'll have the wrap up from last night's Dynamite, going over what happened and all that there. As they continue to go for Forbidden Door pay-per-view coming up this Sunday. So, anyways, without any further ado, why don't we go ahead and get started then with the articles now? All right, here's the first one we're going to look at. Alrighty then. Haikyuu releases new art celebrating the series' 10th anniversary. Haikyuu releases new art and a video to celebrate its 10th anniversary alongside an announcement for a special volume collecting key moments. I'm guessing that's the 10th anniversary, of course, of the manga, because I think the anime only came out in 2014, or the first part of the anime. Article by Brenna Lahner, published 15 hours ago. Haikyuu unveiled new art to celebrate its 10th anniversary. The art was released via Twitter alongside a YouTube video celebrating important moments from the manga. Haikyuu.com also revealed a 10th anniversary volume gathering key visuals and illustrations to be released on September 2nd, which I believe will be a Friday, I think. These announcements were made in tandem with a shout-out celebrating main character Hinata Shoyo's birthday. The new art features main players from the Karasumo volleyball team. The characters are shown in their post-time skip forms, with many of them having found careers outside of volleyball. However, all of the characters pose as if they are jumping for a ball, paying homage to their roots on the court. Hinata, Kageyama, and Tsukishima are also shown in their pro volleyball jerseys. The YouTube video released alongside this illustration centers around Hinata Shoyo. It highlights his progress as he grows from an inexperienced high schooler into a key player on a pro volleyball team. The MSBY Jackals. Not only does this video show Hinata's development as an individual player, but it also highlights his journey as he learns to work alongside others. The video places particular emphasis on Kageyama's role in Hinata's life. Now, I've watched the anime, and I've watched, basically, I think the first 3 seasons of it. They didn't have the 4th season out when I watched it before, so I probably will watch it at some point. But it is a good story, guys. I mean, even if you're not into volleyball, even if volleyball is not a sport that you follow or anything like that, just watching, the character development in the anime and watching the characters' interactions with each other as they learn and grow together is what makes this a good anime, even if you're not a volleyball fan. Even if you're not somebody who's into volleyball. So, watching the interaction between the characters and the like. So, anyways, continuing on here. Haikyuu is a popular sports manga following a team of high school volleyball players. Since its initial serialization in 2012, it has released a total of 402 chapters collected into 45 volumes. 402 chapters into 45 volumes. Let's see, 13. 34 divided by 15. That's almost 9 chapters. That's just shy of 9 chapters a volume right there. 9 chapters a volume. So that's pretty interesting. In 2017, the manga won the 61st Shogakukan Manga Award for the best shonen manga and sold over 50 million copies to date. So this one's right up there with others like Naruto and Bleach and One Piece, and Dragon Ball, some of the other popular shonen mangas as well. Let's see. The Haikyuu manga has since been adapted into an anime series that currently spans 4 seasons. Like the manga, the anime has been well received by fans and critics alike. Again, even if you're not into volleyball, even if you're not a fan of volleyball, particularly indoor volleyball, there's still a good anime to watch because watching the character development, watching the interactions between the characters makes for a good story. There's a good story in there, and they just happen to use volleyball as a as a means to tell that story. Still a pretty good coming of age type story. All right. So, anyways, as we continue on here with the article, let's go with this one. Let me see. Hello. Thank you for the like and the share. I hope you're enjoying the content thus far. All right. So with that, we shall continue on with the article here. Let's see. Haikyuu follows the story of Hinata Shoyo, a teen who dreams of playing volleyball despite his short stature. That's another thing that makes this. You got a classic underdog story in this too. That's another good aspect to it. When Hinata joins the Karasuno High School volleyball team, he is forced to work alongside his rival Kageyama Tobio. Tensions run high between the two new players, but if they work together, Hinata and Kageyama might be able to lead their team to greatness. The broader narrative also highlights their teammates and several other competing high schools as they fight to make it to nationals. Again, great plot there. Great underdog type plot. Great character development here with this particular series, manga and anime. The Haikyuu manga is currently available through Viz Media. The anime is available on Crunchyroll. So there you go. There's that one. If you guys haven't checked out Haikyuu yet, I would highly recommend it. Great, good story. Anyways. Getting ready to move on to the next article. Now, this one grabbed my attention because, of course, I've seen this anime series and I like it. It's kind of a nice one, particularly if you decide to watch it in a cooler month, like maybe during the winter. It's kind of a little bit of a sword and sorcery otherworldly type. You got fairies, demons, and all the sort. All right. Return of Lodos. Time to revisit or remake Record of Lodoss War. The classic Japanese franchise Record of Lodoss War deserves a revival, especially with fantasy and Dungeons & Dragons stories thriving. Article by Nathaniel Meyer, published 14 hours ago. Now, I hope if they do, I'm not a big fan of remakes. Leave a lot of these stories alone. Just let them be, because they're a classic. We've been seeing what's been happening when people have been messing with classic stuff. They've been using it for toilet paper. Anyways, let's get into this. Dungeons and Dragons, or D&D, is thriving thanks to the success of the animated version of Matt Mercer's campaign, Vox Machina. Its presence in the super popular Stranger Things and an upcoming live-action film. With this blossoming popularity, older D&D inspired media should resurface and find new audiences. D&D is a tabletop role-playing game created in the 1970s that has had an enormous impact on fantasy media across the globe. Now is the time to rediscover Japan's most famous D&D campaign, Ryo Mizuno's Record of Lodoss War. Again, I'm not usually a big fan of remaking stuff, because there is something quaint and nice about the original, and just because we just want to remake it, we just want to bring in new fans. Well, let the older stuff try to bring in new fans. Record of Lodoss War was one of the purest manifestations of high fantasy come out of Japan in the 1980s and 90s. The core cast is a balanced adventuring party out of a classic D&D campaign. Leading the party is a human knight joined by a sorcerer, a cleric, a high elf, a dwarven warrior, and a thief. Parn, the protagonist, is an idiot hero who runs with reckless abandon into conflict and needs to be saved by his savvier party members. Those party members, the antagonist, and the world building add the timeless fantasy aspect of the story, which is all true. I mean, if you have ever, for those who have watched Record of Lodoss War before, the animation, granted, it's like 30 years old, 30-year-old animation, 25, 30-year-old animation, but it's still neat to look at, when you're watching it. Harkens back to that time, Let's see. And there you got it right there. You've got, up top there from right to left, you got Parn. Let's see. Slain is the wizard at the far left there, and then I'm blanking. Oh, Deedlit. Deedlit's the elf girl in the middle there, and then you got then on the bottom there, the white-haired dwarven warrior. That's can't remember his name now, unfortunately, but the dwarven warrior on the bottom right there. Ado, the cleric, in the middle, and then that guy was basically a thief they rescued from a dungeon. Again, sorry I can't remember the names off the top of my head at the moment, but I got 4 of the 6 at least. I'm sure I'll be reminded as I'm reading this. By the way, the plights of Parn's party members carry the emotional weight for much of the story. Gim is the dwarven warrior. That's who it is. I knew it started with a G. Gim, the dwarven warrior, and Slain, the human sorcerer, share a quest to rescue Lelia, the reincarnation of the high priestess of the god of destruction. With that title, Lelia doesn't sound like someone worth saving, but she is in control. But she is in control of her consciousness, and the aspects of the high priestess only come out when her kidnapper, a centuries-old magician named Carla, possesses her. And of course, Parn was voiced. Central Park Media, of course, did the dub of this series. Parn was voiced by Billy Regan. Gim, I believe, was voiced by Greg Wolf, I believe. Let's see. Slain was voiced by Al Muscari. And this is Al Muscari. As far as I know, this is according to the sources I've seen. Slain was the only character that Al Muscari had ever played or voiced. That's like his. I think that's like his one alone or one of his few credits. Ato was voiced by Ted Lewis, who many of you would know as the voice of Bakura from the Yu-Gi-Oh series, as well as like Giovanni from Pokemon. And Ado was let's see. We already talked about Ado. Deedlit was voiced by Lisa Ortiz, who of course is Serenity Reeler in Yu-Gi-Oh. She did Lena Inverse in the Slayer series for the Central Park Media dubs. And you guys probably would have heard Lisa's all over the New York voice acting scene. You would know her voice, I'm sure, if you heard her. Anyways, getting back to the article here. Let's see. Yeah, and then Carla was voiced by Carla and Lelia in this first series were voiced by Simone Grant. So Carla is one of the adversaries who provides a refreshing perspective in the story. Series creator Mizuno highlights Carla, Ashram, and Piratus. Ashram is a dark knight, basically, and Piratus is a dark fairy, as beings with strong convictions in their goals that give them a vital element of likability. True, these three add depth to the antagonistic aspects of Lotus War. The rest of the party's opposition consists of the evil wizard Vagnard and the forces of nature that are the dragons and sinister creatures. Sounds like fun stuff, doesn't it? There's Deedlit right there. Deedlit the fairy. We have two people in here now. Thank you guys for popping in. If you guys can like and share the stream as well, that'd be appreciated as well. And if you guys have any questions you'd like to ask or any comments, feel free to comment on what we're talking about if anything catches your attention there. As we shall continue on with the article here. Gods, dragons, and powerful magic add depth and excitement to the world of Lotus War. Mizuno sets the stage for the classic quest to slay an enormous dragon and channels the absolute core of D&D and classic fictional literature like the epic of Gilgamesh or Beowulf. To cover all the bases, Lotus War also contains some solid dungeon crawling coupled with solid humor. Unfortunately, this humor comes at the expense of Parn continuously getting in over his head, setting off traps, and running directly into protection spells. The plight of the youthful warrior, right? He doesn't have necessarily the wisdom to at least to kind of be to know when to be cautious, he just rushes right into danger. Anyways, the world of Lotus War is ripe to be revisited, either to enjoy this classic show or to remake it with the intent of going all in on the scale and potential of a true high fantasy story, establishing a narrative that would allow for more breathing room regarding character development, would further strengthen the antagonistic forces while adding more emotional weight to the protagonist's tragic journeys. All right, that does sound kind of interesting. Of course, as long as they don't sit there and like a lot of these remakes are doing, trying to push certain narratives, as long as they just stay to what they're talking about here, yeah, that does sound like a good idea. But if you try to add like your own sensibilities to it, then no. It might even be worth reworking many core characters and story threads to create an anime epic to try and compete with the Wheel of Time and A Dance with Dragons. Don't go changing the core of the characters, all right? Yeah, now, Record of Lotus War was in two parts. There was an OVA simply called Record of Lotus War, and then there was the anime series itself. That anime series itself was called Record of Lotus War Chronicles of a Heroic Knight. In total, it totals out to 40 episodes. The OVA was 13 episodes. The anime series was 27 episodes. Yeah. Anyways, as we continue on with the article here, revisiting Lotus War, specifically the OVA, provides a satisfying escape with Madhouse's fantastic animation. Yep, a gorgeous soundtrack and an immersive world. However, this franchise also has a lot more potential than meets the eye. The franchise established its ability to become a multimedia beast decades ago through novels, games, and anime, which is true. It's a good series. You know, I like revisiting it more. I like revisiting it more than remaking it, because what's liable to happen, especially with a lot of people today, they sit there and they try to remake it, and then they're gonna ruin it by putting their own sensibilities and their own agendas into it, and then it's just going to go down the toilet. Revisiting the classic is a lot better than trying to remake it, because they try to remake it, somebody along the line is going to sit there, try to push for some kind of agenda push within the product, when the story doesn't even call for it. But somebody will, regardless. Let's see. Still, only bits and pieces of the media receive the proper attention and funding to produce quality works. So there's no better time than now to breathe new life into the world of Record of Lotus War, when fantasy, D&D, and anime are all seeing prominent popularity once again. All right. So yeah. So that overall, I like the revisiting idea better than remaking. So that's my take on it. So, what do you guys think? Anybody want to comment on that idea? Hey, Rex. Hey, Mike. Got to go work. Well, thank you for dropping in. If you can also drop a like and share and see if we can get some more people in here, that'd be appreciated, my friend. Glad you stopped in. focusing on anime right now, but anime slash mangas. But get to the comics in a bit here. But if you want, at least pop in, say hi a little bit, and also if you can, as I said, and like the stream as well, like and share the stream, so we can get some more friendly people in here. That would really help. Get the word out and all that. Anyways, let's get ready to move on to the next story. Let's see. All right, here we go. Here's the next article we're going to look at here. One Piece film Red will sail into U.S. theaters this fall. Toei Animation and Crunchyroll announced that they will give One Piece film Red a theatrical release in numerous regions later this year. Article by Michael Estrada, published 7 hours ago. And right there from left to right, you have Roronoa Zoro, the pirate hunting swordsman. You got Monkey D. Luffy, the captain of the Straw Hat Pirates, and the Thousand Sunny, and the ship's navigator Nami. All right. One Piece fans outside of Japan will get to see Luffy's latest adventure on the big screen. Toei Animation and Crunchyroll announced that they will give One Piece film Red a theatrical release in the US, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. The movie will be released with both its original Japanese audio with subtitles, as well as a new English dub when it arrives at movie theaters this fall. Now, of course, I'd imagine that a lot of the same voice character. Well, let's read more of the. It looks like the two companies' announcement also teases that they will have more to reveal about the new film at this year's Anime Expo, which comes up, of course, next weekend, which will feature a panel dedicated to the movie. The panel will feature appearances from series creator Shinichi Shimizu, English voice actors Brandon Potter, who voices Shanks, Ian Sinclair, who voices Brooks, as well as ADR director Anthony Boland. The convention will also host a One Piece concert with a performance by DJ Steve Aoki. Quote, "We're excited to bring One Piece film Red to theaters around the world this fall, which actually coincides with the 23rd anniversary of the One Piece franchise," unquote, said Masayuki Endo, Toei Animation Incorporated's president and CEO. Quote, "This new film from creator Eiichiro Oda will truly captivate fans in a thrilling new adventure with the Straw Hats that features the debut of Uda, the mysterious new character in the world of One Piece," unquote. One Piece film Red sees Luffy. I don't know if it should be in there. Sees the Luffy, but I think it's just Luffy. It's supposed to be just Luffy. Typo, I guess. Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, and the rest of the Straw Hat pirate crew traveling to a new island in order to attend a famous music festival. There, they run into the popular singer Uda, who was revealed by an earlier trailer to be the estranged daughter of red-haired Shanks, the charismatic ship captain who originally gave Luffy his trademark straw hat and inspired the young boy to take up the life of a pirate. In addition to a new story that delves into Shank's past, a movie will feature new costumes for the Straw Hat crew that blend traditional pirate gear with punk rock inspired fashion that fits the musical theme of the film. Since its debut in 1997, Eiichiro Oda's One Piece has managed to become the best-selling manga in history, with over 500 million copies circulation around the world. While the series has remained extremely popular, Oda recently confirmed that Luffy's quarter-century of adventures is finally nearing its end, as the series' next saga will be its last. The manga recently wrapped up the long-running Wano Country arc and will go on a one-month hiatus while Oda plans out the series finale. Wow, so the manga is coming to an end after 25 years. That does sound quite interesting. The anime itself is already up to 1,000 episodes. But yeah, this show is pretty popular. All right, before I actually have to step away from the computer for a moment, but I will be right back. I hope everybody enjoying the content thus far. I'll get to the next story here as soon as I get back. I'm going to leave you some music. I got to go step away for a moment. I'll be right back. Maybe some music here. And I'm back. And as always, guys, if there's anything that grabs your attention, feel free to comment or ask questions. If I can answer the question, I'll do so. Anyways, let's get to the next article here, the fourth of 5 articles here. So get to this. Dragon Ball Super Boss says a post-superhero story is in production. Now, for those of you who don't know, Dragon Ball Superhero is a movie that's coming out. I don't know if it's already out or about to come out. But I guess what they're saying here is that there's going to be another story even after it. So shortly after Japanese debut of Dragon Ball Superhero, producer Akio Yoku confirmed that the production on the next entry in the series has begun. All right. Article by Michael Turner, published 5 hours ago. A new animated entry in the Dragon Ball Super series is under production, though it's still unknown if it'll be a new anime series, another original movie, or something else entirely. In a new interview posted in this month's issue of V-Jump, which was translated and shared online by Twitter user at DBSH or DBS Hype, series producer Akio Iyoku was asked what he's working on next now that Dragon Ball Superhero has finally been released in Japan. So it has been released. Iyoku responded, quote, well, you're asking, a new entry in the series is already in the making, unquote. Iyoku did not go into any details about what this quote unquote new entry is, but warned that whatever it ends up being, it may still be something before it's ready to be released. So it may still be some time before it's to be released. Quote, Superhero took us 5 years to make. It was only natural we're already working on what comes next, unquote. Are they saying it's going to take another 5 years to get this get this entry going? Is that what they're saying there? Yoku teased at the beginning of the year that there would be more animated Dragon Ball to look forward to besides a new superhero movie. Many fans are hoping he was referring to an oft requested new season of Dragon Ball Super Anime, which originally ran for 131 episodes from 2015 to 2018. While the show concluded several years ago, like 4 years ago, I guess, the Dragon Ball Super manga has continued its serialization to this day and has completed one full arc, the Galactic Patrol Prisoner Saga, and is about to finish a second, the Granola the Survivor Saga, meaning that there's plenty of content for a potential continuation of the series to work off of. Which, for those of you who are in the know, like myself, you know that most anime are basically based off of their manga counterparts. Sometimes you have an anime that comes first and then gets turned into a manga, but most animes are usually come from mangas. Sometimes light novels as well, but anyways, let's continue on with the article here. Let's see where we at. Okay. It is also entirely possible that Iyoku is teasing another movie, which, like Superhero and Broly before it, will be based around an entirely original story that wasn't seen in the manga. Yeah, the thing is with Broly became so popular that they actually had to integrate him into the main continuity. Broly in of itself, the Broly part of the Dragon Ball franchise is its own continuity. It's like its own universe. Um, in brackets, Dragon Ball creator Akira Toriyama Sensei is always working on new Dragon Ball concepts and ideas after all, unquote. Yoku said in the magazine, adding, quote, we're all thinking about what we want to show the world next, unquote. While Dragon Ball fans in Japan are already looking forward to what comes next for the series, fans in the rest of the world still have several weeks to go before they can see Gohan and Piccolo's latest adventure. Together in Superhero, the new movie will be released in theaters in the United States on August 19th. Crunchyroll, who is distributing the movie outside of Japan, is also planning to re-release the um, Dragon Ball Super anime series, a special edition steel box set. Oh, there we go with that one. So we have one more anime article to go through, and then we'll get into the comics articles. There's that one. And we got kind of a preview article here, kind of a get to know article on a particular anime. Who are they? Alrighty then. How to get started with In Another World with My Smartphone. In Another World with My Smartphone puts the isekai genre on a cell phone plan. Okay, with its coverage including light novels, manga, and an anime. Article by Timothy Donahue, published 3 hours ago. Look at that right. Hmm. Anyways, isekai is everywhere, and it's involved almost everything, from skeleton knights to slimes, not to mention the whole host of JRPG tropes. All kinds of fantasy have been reborn in another world. With so many fantastic and grandiose concepts already emphasized in this ubiquitous genre, it leaves only the mundane left to be adapted. Enter In Another World with My Smartphone, an isekai adventure that turns a mobile phone into a magical device, not one to quote unquote phone things in. It also includes elements of another common anime setup, the harem. A lot of guys like the harems, right? Needless to say, with this franchise, fun is just a dial away. Here's what the series story is about, as well as the apps needed to read or watch it. All right, let's see. Let's see now. The plot of In Another World with My Smartphone. The hero of the series, who finds himself reborn in another world with his smartphone, is Toya Mochizuki. who, strangely enough, is accidentally killed by God. Although he wishes to make amends for his mistake, for some reason, God can't simply put Toya back in his old world. Instead, he opts to reincarnate the young man into a fantasy one, granting his single request of giving him back his smartphone. This device can't contact anyone from the other world, but it can otherwise function in the same way, giving Toya access to a plethora of knowledge that those around him lack. So it almost sounds like they're setting this up very similar to Pokemon, where in this case the smartphone's almost acting like a Pokédex. That sounds kind of fun. The smartphone here almost sounds like it's acting kind of like the Pokédex and Pokénav from Pokemon. Further boosting his new lease on life is the fact that Toya has increased quote unquote stats, making him smarter, stronger, and more adept at magic than many he encounters. Using these gifts, thanks to his handy dandy cellular device, he travels throughout the land, helping those in need and picking up as many gorgeous women as he can along the way. Oh, what a life! Guys, don't we wish we had that kind of life? Woo! Those of us who are single, anyways. Where to read the In Another World with my smartphone light novels and manga. And all those cute girls around him, guy. Easy usa easy Usatsuka created In Another World with my smartphone as a web novel 2013. The series later being published as a light novel beginning in 2015. So far, there have been 26 volumes, and the success of those books quickly saw a manga adaptation about the In Another World with my smartphone. Manga began in 2016. With art supplied by Shoto, this version of the story has 11 volumes so far, but neither it nor the light novels showing any signs of stopping. Seven Seas Entertainment has localized the light novels, while Yen Press does the same with the manga. All the former volumes have been brought to the West, but only about half of the manga is currently available outside of Japan. These can be bought wherever manga and light novels are sold, including retailers such as Walmart, Books A Million, and Barnes & Noble. Digital versions can be read through Kindle and Comixology. Okay, so before I get into the anime side of it, I've got to step away from the computer for a moment to make some adjustments here in my room. So I'll be right back. Let me put some music on for you guys. And welcome back, person. Right. As always, guys, if you have any comments or questions, please put them up in the chat so clicking onto them. And of course, what we're talking about here. Hey, getting back to the article here. Production Reed, known for older anime like Macross 7 and entries in the Transformers Beast Wars franchise, is behind the anime adaptation of In Another World with My Smartphone. The series aired in 2017, lasting for 12 initial episodes. However, a second season was has finally been announced, promising more of the long-lived novel series will be put on screen. The show so far can be streamed on both Crunchyroll and Funimation, Apple TV, YouTube, Amazon Prime Video, and Google Play will allow viewers to purchase individual episodes. Amazon, Right Stuf, Anime, Target, and Walmart also carry Blu-ray of the first season, although it might be more economical in the long run to simply watch through one of the aforementioned streaming services. This way, viewers can themselves watch the series on their smartphone. Ha ha ha. Anyways, okay, so there we go with that. Now we will go to the comic section. That was the last of the anime story. We got, of course, four comic stories to go through. So we do that. I'm going to need to um, go off camera here for another quick moment. Um, I'll be right back. And yeah. All right, I'm back. Um, here. All right, let's start getting into these comic articles here. All right, so here we go. Exclusive. Archie Comics debuts Sabrina's own witch-powered, in smaller quotes, Reggie, meet Amber Nightstone. Okay. This September, Archie Comics, Sabrina Anniversary Spectacular #1, gives the teenage witch a new magical rival, Amber Nightstone. Article by Noah Dominguez, published 12 hours ago. For decades, Archie Andrews has butted heads with his classmate and arch rival, Reggie Snell. This September, Archie Comics celebrates Sabrina Spellman's 60th anniversary by giving the teenage witch a new magical teen rival of her very own. Only this new witch's plans for Sabrina are a bit more extreme than Reggie's pranks on Archie. CBR can exclusively reveal that September's Sabrina Anniversary Spectacular #1 will mark the debut of Amber Nightstone, an evil witch born at exactly the same time as Sabrina. Man, it almost sounds like it's a potential evil doppelganger type story here going on. Let's see. But here's the thing, quote, only one witch born that day may live amongst mortals, and Amber wants her turn, but she has to erase Serena from history. Wow, 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 wow. Written and illustrated by Dan Parent, with colors by Glenn Whitmore and letters by Jack Morelli. Sabrina Anniversary Spectacular #1 is set to arrive in comic shops on Wednesday, September 7th. The issue features a cover by Parent, who homages Dan DeCarlo's cover art from 1971 Sabrina the Teenage Witch #1. In um, addition to the cover, um, Archie Comics has provided CBR with Parent development art for Amber. There it is right there. Sabrina Anniversary Spectacular #1. We couldn't possibly enter a spooky season without celebrating Sabrina as much as possible. And we're kicking off this spectacular with a brand new Sabrina story that we guarantee will be the greatest Sabrina Halloween story ever. In quote, celebration vexation, unquote. It's Sabrina's birthday and she's celebrating her day in an epic battle against her nemesis, a brand new character named Amber Nightstone. Sabrina Spellman meets Amber Nightstone. Amber is an evil witch born at exactly the same time as Sabrina. Only one witch born that day may live among mortals, and Amber wants her turn. So she has to erase Sabrina from history, and all that plus a collection of classic style spellbinding stories. Script by Dan Parent, art by Dan Parent, colors by Glenn Whitmore, Jack Morelli does lettering, not to be confused with G.I. Joe's Jack Morelli, aka Dalton, different person altogether. Um, Cover by Dan Parent, on scale 9/7 with September 7th. 32 page full color comic, $2.99. Quote, believe it or not, in Sabrina's 60-year history, she's never had a true nemesis, unquote, Parent said. Quote, sure, she's had her adversaries in the past. Amber Nightstone is basically the evil version of Sabrina. Yeah, the evil doppelganger. That's what it basically comes down to. Evil doppelganger. And Amber is tired of being cast aside and wants her time in the limelight. So now, as Sabrina turns 60, we enter a whole new realm of fun. Give me one moment. I gotta go off camera quickly. I'll be back. And I'm back. Hey, getting back to the story here. Um, quote, I started referring to her as, in small quote, Dark Sabrina, and that's where the thinking was originally. Added Archie Comics editor-in-chief Mike Colorito. Um, quote, Sabrina has a great cast of characters in the comics, but didn't have a teen rival until now. That's how I think of the cast of characters. Is there a way to challenge something established? Do we need someone who can do something different and give us some fun story points? Actually, that does sound kind of like a very nice idea. They should have put end quotes there. Today's quote, after discussing some ideas, remember with Vin Lovallo, um, our art director, he came up with an early look and Dan refined it. Um, Clarissa continued, quote, the original idea was that her facial features, especially her eyes, should be based on a more dangerous looking first appearance of Serena in Madhouse number 22. I wanted to avoid her looking similar to Delia, the head witch. Dan and I have an excellent way of going back and forth. He knows what works as well as anyone. Having Dan Parent on this kind of thing is great. He's a, in parentheses, not so secret weapon. Created by George Gladier and the aforementioned DeCarlo, Sabrina Spellman first appeared in Archie's Madhouse number 22, cover dated October 1962, which meant it would have came out in September, went on sale in September. Sabrina continued to appear in various Archie titles um, before finally getting her own eponymous comic book series, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, in 1971, which is, of course, 51 years ago. So I think her own series was probably celebrating its 50-year anniversary last year. The character has also been adapted into live action, being played by Melissa Joan Hart in the sitcom Sabrina the Teenage Witch from 1996 to 2003. In fact, I believe that was part of the TGIF lineup for a while there. Um, you know, for a short bit there. And by Kieran Shipka in the horror drama Chilling Adventures, Sabrina, based on the 2014 comic of the same name, 2018 to 2020. Written and illustrated by Dan Parent, colored by Glenn Whitmore, and lettered by Jack Morelli. Sabrina Anniversary Spectacular #1 goes on sale September 7th from Archie Comics. And mind you, Sabrina also made a number of appearances in a number of the Filmation cartoons based on the Archie series, including, of course, the Ruby Ghoul. In fact, she was a part of the animated series, I believe, in the early 70s, 72, 73, Sabrina and the Groovy Ghoulies. So she was a part of that, as well as the package show about 6, 7 years later, Groovy Ghoulies in France. And I think she might have even made some appearance. She might have made some appearances in Archie's Funhouse as well. So yes, Archie TV Funnies or Archie's Funhouse. We both. Anyway, so there we go with that one. So prepare to move on to the next story then. All right, here we go with the next story here. Um, Exclusive. Mad Cave Studios announces new fall and winter titles from Colin Bunn, Joe Corallo, and more. CBR can exclusively reveal titles and solicitations for Mad Cave Studios fall and winter 2022 releases from Colin Bunn, Zach Thompson, and more. Article by Brendan Schwer, published 12 hours ago. Mad Cave Studios has announced its upcoming fall and winter 2022 titles and solicitations. CBR can exclusively reveal Mad Cave Studios' upcoming 2022 fall and winter titles and solicitations. A Legacy of Violence, a new 12-issue horror mystery series from Cullen Bunn, who also wrote Harrow County and The Sixth Gun, and Andrea Muti, who was involved with Nottingham and Bunny Mask. I remember reading a little bit about Bunny Mask. That was kind of a eerie one. Comes first in October, set in Honduras. A Legacy of Violence follows a young doctor who uncovers something horribly evil that will then test the limits of his medical training. A Legacy of Violence is followed by Zach Thompson. Or A Legacy of Violence is followed by Zach Thompson, who was also involved with The Brother of All Men, and Bailey Underwood's Nature's Labyrinth in November. The story follows a handful of felons who are trapped on an unusual island and forced to fight one another in a battle royale tournament over the course of 3 days. Rounding out the new releases is Dahlia in the Dark by Joe Corallo, who also wrote Beckstar and She Said Destroy, and Andrea Milano, which released in December. Dahlia in the Dark introduces readers to a magical creature with ties to a fairy world, which then sparks a massive mystical war. Quote, these 3 fantastical comics, all focused on the human condition, hold tales of characters who face insurmountable odds and astounding adventures, an all-new tier of illustration and masterful storytelling, unquote. Mad Cave Studios said of the new releases, quote, prepare to be left in an awestruck state of wonder as you descend into madness, unquote. Read the full solicitations for the titles below. Now, that's got to be something that will really grab horror fans right there. Excuse me a moment. I gotta do something real quick. I'll be right back. All right, here we go. So here's a legacy of. Now look at that cover right there. That's a very interesting cover. Um, Give me one more time to put that there. And I'm back. So let's get back to the. All right. So look at that. Look at that. Look at that cover right there. A skull with a spark of light there. The Legacy of Violence. Writer Cullen Bunn. Art by Andrea Muti. Lettering by Russ Wooten. October 5th. When Dr. Nicholas Shaw joined a humanitarian medical outfit in Honduras, he hopes to recover from a recent traumatic event and actually help those in need. But something sinister has followed Dr. Shaw. Something that wants to put his medical skills to ghastly test. Something connected to the young doctor's past and to untold horrors that occurred long before he was born. Wow. Nature's Labyrinth. Oh, look at that cover. That's a nice. There's a nice cover there too. Look at that cover. Nature's Labyrinth, written by Zach Thompson, art by Bailey Underwood, colors by Warnia Sahadewa, the lettering by Russ Wooten, coming out November 2nd. In the middle of the ocean lies a remote island complex lined with traps and an ever-changing landscape. The island was designed by a mysterious man known only as Ahab, quote unquote, to test the will of the world's most notorious criminals. Um, 8 violent felons fight to the death over 3 days of relentless action in a battle royale style game. The winner receives a wealth of riches and complete anonymity, but at the cost of keeping their silence about the island's existence. What Ahab doesn't know is that someone has infiltrated his game to reveal the truth about Nature's Labyrinth. From writer Zach Thompson of Yondu, the brother of all men, undone by blood, and Bailey Underwood from of It Took Luke and the Sixth Borough. And here's Dahlia in the Dark. Dahlia in the Dark, written by Joe Corallo, art by Andrea Milano, cover art by Chris Sheehan, lettering by Micah Myers, coming out December 7th. Donnie Dahlia is hired to deliver a package from Pennsylvania to New Mexico. What he doesn't know is that the package is a dangerous magical creature, Maya Luna, and she is a future queen of a fairy world that has remained hidden until now. Donnie and his gang will be caught in the middle of a supernatural war between the changelings and the fairies, a conflict that has been brewing in the shadows for centuries. Oh, there we go. There we go with that one. Sounds like some interesting stuff there. Is our next article we're going to go through. Let's see if I showed it. Exclusive preview. Kirkman and Otley reunite for an Invincible spin-off story in Skybound X. CBR presents an exclusive preview of Skybound X number 25, which sees Invincible creator Robert Kirkman reunite with Ryan Otley for a new spin-off story. Article by Noah Dominguez, published 9 hours ago. Skybound Entertainment's hit anthology comic series Skybound X returns this July. And to mark the occasion, Invincible creator and writer Robert Kirkman is re-teaming with artist Ryan Otley for a new story starring Battle Beast, which will lead into the character's anticipated spin-off series. Set to hit comic shops on Wednesday, July 20th, Skybound X number 25 marks the return of the title following its, quote, wildly successful 5-issue limited run last summer, unquote. Skybound explains, quote, in celebration of Image Comics' 30th anniversary, Skybound X returns with issue number 25, embracing the quote, in small quote, images of tomorrow, unquote, legacy for showcasing 4 all-new series. Highly anticipated Battle Beast, Dark Ride, Chroma, and Scurry, unquote. CBR can exclusively reveal sneak peek inside the comic at this time. Here are some of the images from the comic right here. The extra length Skybound X number 25 features the monumental return of a wildly beloved character from the Invincible universe and the introduction of unforgettable new ones from some of the most acclaimed comic talent today, all setting the stage for epic new series launches. From the pages of Invincible comes breakout star Battle Beast, reuniting the legendary Invincible team of Robert Kirkman and Ryan Ottley. Created by Kirkman and Ottley, Doc, Battle Beast, first appeared in 2004's Invincible number 19. The character ultimately met his demise in 2015's Invincible number 120. Battle Beast also appears in Prime Video's animated adaptation of Invincible, in which he is voiced by Michael Dorn of Star Trek The Next Generation fame. As many of you remember, Michael Dorn, of course, played Worf in both The Next Generation and Deep Space Nine. Let's see. He also provided the voice of one of the kind of robotic, one of the cyborg gargoyles and gargoyles, Coldstone. Provided the voice of Coldstone in there. So, and then I think he was a general. I just recently heard him as a general in the Zeta Project. So there you go. Created and written by Kirkman, illustrated by Corey Walker and Ottley, colored by Bill Crabtree, and lettered by Russ Wooten, Invincible was originally published by Image Comics through Kirkman's Skybound label in January 2003. The series ran for a total of 144 issues, including in February 2018. Prime Video's Invincible premiered in March 2021, with the show's first season concluding the following month. Invincible has already been renewed for seasons 2 and 3. Of course, Invincible Battle Beast spinoff isn't the only thing Skybound X number 25 has to offer. The acclaimed team behind Birthright, Josh Williamson and Andre Bresson, also reunite to kick off the new horror epic Dark Ride. Skybound writes, then, quote, then discover the first appearance of the savage and beautiful Chroma from writer-artist Lorenzo De Felici from Oblivion Song. And finally, Matt Smith masterfully tells the story about animals' battle for survival when all of humanity dies in the post-apocalyptic world of Scurry. Wow, I barely even realized there was a transition going on there. Skybound X number 25 goes on sale July 20th. Skybound Entertainment and Image Comics. There we go. There we go. Anyways. We have one more article to go through. There it is. Our last article we'll be reading through. We're already at hour 35, so we're making good time here.
We're doing it here for a minute. For a minute. And then Mama's gonna.
Alrighty then, so let's get to this article then. Red Hood Outlaws, Zatanna set premiere dates for Webtoon's new DC series. Webtoon and DC announced the premiere dates for their next two collaborations, Red Hood Outlaws and Zatanna and the Ripper. Article by C.M. Ramsberg, published 7 hours ago. So here are, I guess, some of the artwork for those. Webtoon and DC just announced the premiere dates for their latest collaboration, Red Hood Outlaws and Zatanna and the Ripper. The two upcoming series are the latest titles to come out of between two entertainment companies, which began in August 2021. Fans everywhere can read the new series exclusively on the Webtoon platform, with Zatanna and the Ripper premiering first on July 11th and Red Hood Outlaws launching on August 14th. The release dates were announced at a panel at the Collision Conference in Toronto, which featured a discussion between Webtoon's head content David Lee and DC editor-in-chief Marie Javins about the future of comics. There's some stuff right there. Webtoon describes the story of Red Hood Outlaws, written by Patrick R. Young, with art by Nico Baskunyan, as follows. The Outlaws try to go legit and fail spectacularly. The Justice League has issued a challenge to Red Hood, Artemis of Onamigdal, and Bizarro, who have to try and replace their goody two-shoe counterparts as the heroes the world neither deserves nor needs. In the original series, the Outlaws will battle some of DC's biggest supervillains and superheroes, but their biggest battles are among themselves. Can this team last? And can they find their own identities, separate from Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman? The official synopsis for Zatanna and the Ripper by writer Sarah Deely and lead artist Cyro describes the magician's latest adventures as follows. Giovanni Zatara is one of the world's most talented magicians. His daughter Zatanna, on the other hand, is among the world's most powerful. On her 21st birthday, Zatanna witnesses a fight between her father and the sorceress Allura. Before Allura can get to his daughter, however, Giovanni blasts Zatanna far away to London, England. In the 1800s, Zatanna tries to use her burgeoning magic to return home, but fails. What she can do, however, is pull things out of the future and past, so her small 19th century room is now filled with modern gadgets. It seems she'll be stuck forever until an old friend finds her, John Constantine. Recognizing him from her past, or her future, he tells her he knows how to get her home. They'll have to solve the Jack the Ripper murders. To make matters worse, Zatanna also quickly learns that she's among the Ripper's targets. Oh boy! Not only does she have to solve the Jack the Ripper case, but he's actually on her trail now. He wants to rip into her. Boy! Quite a twist there, isn't it? The two new DC adventures were originally announced last April. The DC and Webtoon partnership is an exciting opportunity to explore new genres and DC's iconic superheroes and supervillains, telling new stories that both new and old fans can enjoy. DC Vice President of Sales and Marketing Nancy Spears said at the time. Fans who want to catch up on the two comic companies' previous collaborations, including Jasmine Walls and Mano Azumi's Vixen NYC, can do so through Webtoon's digital service. Readers can also catch up on the popular Eisner-nominated series Batman Wayne Family Adventures, which features a more comedic take on the Dark Knight and the family of other heroes built up around him. The series was launched in 2021 as Webtoon and DC's first ever collaboration, and new chapters have continued to be published weekly. There we go. So there we go with the articles then. All for the articles. Alrighty then. All right, so now with all that being said, as I said, we just have some AEW news to go over for tonight. But just some of the results from last night's Dynamite to kind of go over and talk a little bit about what's going on heading into this Sunday's Forbidden Door pay-per-view, the co-production of New Japan Pro Wrestling and All Elite Wrestling. So in preparation, of course, for some of their upcoming matches, saw Roppongi Vice and Orange Cassidy defeat the United Empire team of Will Ospreay, who will be defending his IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship against Orange Cassidy at this Sunday's Forbidden Door, and Aussie Open of Mark Davis and Kyle Fletcher. Roppongi Vice will be part of a triple threat tag team match that, well, basically they said it's a winner take all match in which the ROH and IWGP tag titles on the line, as you have Roppongi Vice taking on both ROH tag team champions FTR and IWGP tag team champions, Great O'Khan and Jeff Cobb representing United Empire. They'll be on that. Malachi Black advanced, defeated Penta Oscura, and thereby advanced into the four-way match to establish the All-Atlantic title, in which he'll be joined by Tomohiro Ishii, Pac, and Miro, determine the first ever AEW All-Atlantic Heavyweight Champion. Adam Page defeated Silas Young, and this led to the signing last night of another fatal four-way match. This one for the IWGP tag team or IWGP Heavyweight Championship, as Jay White, Switchblade Jay White, will be defending against Adam Cole, Adam Page, and Hiroshi Tanahashi. So that matchup is set up for Toni Storm maintaining momentum, leading into getting ready for her match against Thunder Rosa for the AEW World Women's title, defeating Marina Shafir. And in the main event saw the aforementioned Hiroshi Tanahashi and I'm sorry, it wasn't Tanahashi, it was my bad. It wasn't Tanahashi, it was actually so for the fatal four-way for the IWGP title is actually IWGP Heavyweight Champion Jay White, Adam Cole, Adam Page, and Kazuchika Okada. Those are the four men, because Hiroshi Tanahashi and Jon Moxley will be facing off against each other for the interim AEW World Heavyweight title. They teamed up last night to defeat Chris Jericho and Lance Archer. So that's all of the wrestling news I have for you guys there. So with that, I guess it would be a good time to start to wind things down a bit here, as we do have some history news for you guys tonight as well. Some other announcements as time goes on here. Let's see, 2010, 20. All right, so without any further, today being Thursday, June the 23rd, 2023, let's take a look back at this day in Neat's history. History! And of course, we were talking a little bit about Archie Comics earlier, with that one story with the Sabrina story about Sabrina. Now, as we have it here, on this date back in 2010, 12 years ago today, the 610th issue of Archie went on sale on this date back in 2010. On this date back in 2010, 12 years ago today, the 610th issue of Archie went on sale on this date back in 2010 for $2.99, 32 pages. The story was called The Blackest and in parentheses, and Bluest Day. It was written by Thomas D. DeFalco, penciled by Fernando Ruiz, inked by Rich Kozlowski. Jack Morelli did the lettering, not to be confused with the G.I. Joe Jack Morelli, dial tone as it were, and colored by Thomas S. Chu. So, and if you haven't already, if you guys can like and share the stream, so we can get some more friendly people in here, watch it and stuff like that, that'd be appreciated. Do thank you guys for being here. Let's see. Moving on to the next piece of Neat's history here. Okay, on this date back in 2012, the second part of the Berserk Golden Age movies were so the part two of Berserk: The Golden Age arc, set of movies that came out in the early 2010s or 2012 year. The second of these movies came out, the battle for Doldre. On this date, 10 years ago today, the battle for Doldre, the second part in the movie series Berserk: The Golden Age arc, um, went on sale on this date in 2023. And excuse me a moment while I think things are getting a little dim in here now, so it's time to make some adjustments here. I'll be right back. I'll leave you guys some music to listen to. I am back. All right. So, so with that, as I said, the Battle of Doldre near 10 years ago. Now getting ready to move on to the next piece of news history. One piece of sad news that we talk a little bit about. And on this date, that's 5 years ago today, um, date 5 years ago today, Tatsuro Sekigawa, better known to most wrestling fans as Mr. Pogo, passed away at the age of 66. Mr. Pogo was a legend in Japanese hardcore wrestling, as he helped to popularize hardcore wrestling in the 1990s with quote unquote death matches in promotions such as Frontier Martial Arts Wrestling, Wing, Big Japan. These are the same federations where Mick Foley and Terry Funk, Foley and then Captain Soda went over and made became big stars in the hardcore wrestling scene as well. You know, hardcore matches that would include like barbed wire matches, fireball matches, that kind of thing. Real extreme stuff. So on this date 5 years ago today, Akira Sekigawa, better known to most fans as Mr. Pogo, passed away at the age of 66. And 2017 is just so nice that we're going to hit it twice. As also happening on this date 5 years ago today, um, Thomas and Friends Journey Beyond Sodor, CG animated direct-to-video DVD release, um, was released in Canada on this date 5 years ago today. So on this date 5 years ago today was the release of Thomas and Friends Journey Beyond Sodor. So there we go with that one. I thank everybody for being here. Um, that's all for the history stuff. Um, so don't forget tomorrow night will be and as I've talked about this week too. Starting this week, we're doing a rotating co system. So tomorrow night, Action Choice Channel will be joining me. We'll be looking back at comics that went on sale in February of 1939, looking at Fiction House publications, looking at Jumbo Comics Volume 1, Number 7, which will, of course, we'll be looking at features like Gilda Gay, the Modern Girl from Bernard Bailey, Tina, um, Tina the Jungle from W. Morgan Hollis, better known to most people as Will Eisner, and one of Jack Kirby's early works of the Weird Stories of Supernatural Secret Secret Diary of Dr. Hayward, and whatever else we have time to read. So I hope you guys will be back here tomorrow to hear the stories, hear the commentary. Um, and with that, I shall bid you all adieu until tomorrow, and I hope to see everybody like this tomorrow. Bye.